They tried to kick us out of Europe. We said no. Emery stands up. Aubameyang, Lacazette. Can we just talk about this for a second, right? Europa League plastic bags. I will use it for shopping, right? I'm not going to just moan, but this is why we can't be involved in this competition anymore. You could have given us a t-shirt at least, commemorative t-shirt that we can keep. I mean, I will use it for shopping. I'm not just going to throw the thing away. You've saved me 5p there, but for crying out loud, incredible.
This is for the ones who care.
I would settle for winning the Europa League. For me, that's a prize in itself. I watched, I've been watching Arsenal a long time, and the night we beat Anderlecht at Highbury in 1970, that remains, up there my 2 or 3 best ever nights watching Arsenal. So, I like a trophy, me. The whole kind of get back in the Champions League thing. I know it's important for commercial reasons and what have you, but I think trophies is what does it for me.
We're doing an interview. Emma from, was it? Squawker. Sweet.
Yeah.
Okay.
All things considered, I think to be where we are in the league is testimony to how good a coach he is, and I think from that point of view we're in pretty good shape, really. I think the manager's good, and obviously we need to recycle some of the playing staff, but I think he's good and he does know how to win this competition. So.
Let's talk about racism for a second, shall we? Here we go. What's this all about then? Oh, okay, right. I see. I mean, there's all sorts going on here. I'm not going to lie, this is fucking ridiculous. This is not a good representation of Valencia fans in general, but what's going on at home, bro? What is going on at home? Gorilla noise. Oh, Nazi salutes as well. No, classy. Very classy. You've let yourselves down here, boys. You really have. The first one, scratching his genitals like he has some kind of STD or something, furiously scratching away. 4 very angry fellas. They've hit the youth. I mean, this is... What's this about? What are you doing here? Really ignorant people. Clearly going to get probably, I would say, a max €20,000 fine. When you compare that to Nicholas Bentner getting an 80 grand fine for showing Paddy Power pants, it shows how clearly racism in football really isn't being taken seriously. What's going on, people? Welcome back to another video. My name is hughwizzy and you're watching 90 More. Back again with what is a relaxed Friday afternoon video. In fact, it's such a nice change to be able to do a chilled out video that isn't me just losing my absolute nut over these frauds. Wow, they turned up. They actually turned up. They turned up so well, I decided to go out and enjoy myself. It was way too late to upload a video last night, so here we are. We're going to look at the detailed analysis, as we should, go through man for man, who performed well, who didn't. Let's spend some time together. I've missed you. What a game. 3-1. The away goal could end up being crucial. They need a 2-0 victory. Will they be able to get that? I don't think so, because we will score, especially if they're anything like they were last night. They can be opened up. They play 5 at the back. Gabriel Paulista, one of the defenders that played quite well last night, if I'm really honest. He was probably their best defender. And I think whilst we're on that topic, we should talk about Mustafi, who was on the night Arsenal's best defender without doubt. Without any doubt. Koscielny and Socrates both looking kind of out of sorts at times. And I have to say, whilst Socrates has been given a lot of plaudits, he really does leave a lot to be desired. He's out of position quite a lot and having to make these last-ditch challenges, much like Mustafi was throughout, or has been throughout the whole season. Flanked with Kolasinac and Maitland-Niles, with Guendouzi and Xhaka as at the top of the triangle, and Aubameyang and Lacazette up top. And it is Aubameyang and Lacazette, obviously, that won us the game, that really have got us to this point. 18 goals for Lacazette this season, 25 goals for Aubameyang. There is not a lot that could be said to either of those guys, and we are not a lot without them. They really are a partnership that is putting us within touching distance of getting back amongst Europe's elite. And it's very exciting because on the one hand, you've got this disappointment in the Premier League that is consistently fucking up my weekend. And on the other hand, excuse my French, and on the other hand, you have got the opportunity of a lifetime, 90 minutes away from a final, 90 minutes away, really. If we can score one goal, realistically, we need one goal out there, let's be honest. And they will be stronger with Cheryshev coming back, with Coquelin coming back, Kondogbia coming back, but in general, we should be able to do this. Now, if we have one foot in the final, that's 90 minutes away from a European trophy, 90 minutes away from getting yourselves back amongst Europe's elite in the elite European competition. It's where we all want to be. It's where the club needs to be for marketing purposes. It's where we need to be to attract the best ilk of player, because anyone that takes them seriously needs to be playing in the Champions League. And although it can be done without, we have seen that with the likes of Aubameyang and Lacazette both coming. So that brings us to Unai Emery, the perfect man to have at the helm in this situation. The man who has brought home 3 Europa Leagues already. He wants a fourth. 4, the magic number. The number that is so closely associated with Arsenal. It could well be fate. 1 game away from Baku. 1 game away from a final. And Guendouzi and Xhaka starting. I'm not going to lie, I was a little bit nervous. I don't have full faith in either of these guys. Put them together and it usually leads to some kind of problem. And immediately we did go down. I'm not saying that they were at fault, but immediately we go down and, heads dropped in the stadium. I'm not going to lie. People were thinking, oh my God, we're doing it again. We're actually doing it again. But Aubameyang, who isn't really the fans' favourite, if we're honest. He's not the fans' favourite. People love Lacazette. Lacazette has the real charisma. He shows real passion. He shows that he wants to be an Arsenal legend. He is clearly emotionally invested in being an Arsenal player and being a successful Arsenal player, not just the success of his career being having made that move, which is for so many players. Aubameyang, on the other hand, has come in for quite a lot of stick, especially because of the clear-cut chances that he has missed. He, has led the Premier League table in clear-cut chances missed for quite some time. However, I'm a big fan of the guy. I'm a big fan of Aubameyang. I've been a big fan of Aubameyang since he was at Saint Etienne. The guy has incredible pace, electrifying pace that still leaves 2-3 defenders in his wake, even with a 10-metre head start. It's quite phenomenal to see up close and personal. He worked his socks off last night, which is something that he is often criticised for. Probably rightly so. However, much like so many other players who've come to Arsenal and seen their time here not really work out, we are playing this guy completely out of position because he is not anything like a winger. He is not anything near having the technical ability to, the close control in tight spaces to be able to escape from too many people that often. It's a worrying situation, actually, having, spent this much money on all these guys, seeing a poacher, a goal hanger, a man who's thrived off of movement in and around the 6-yard area and scores 95% of his goals within 10 yards, hanging outside on the wing, crossing it in. But they have developed a system whereby, when the wing backs are up, he can drift in, and it was 2 up top with Lacazette. And their partnership is phenomenal. The work rate of both of them on the night was sensational. It's a real pleasure to watch 2 guys who are top class and are trying to drag us there. Ozil as well. You can see a real understanding, especially between Ozil and Lacazette. They know that they're good footballers. They actually know that they're better footballers than probably anyone else at the club. And technically, they can be trusted. And it's beautiful to watch that communication between the two of them. You can see they look for each other. Even when the pass is kind of ridiculous or not really on, they're still trying to find each other. And that creativity that each one of them has opened up more spaces and more chances for Aubameyang to attack. And he did so last night. A fantastic through ball, I think, from Lacazette himself that sent Aubameyang through on this 40-yard run. He cut inside, just about beating his man, and laid it across to Lacazette for a simple tap-in, open goal. Beautiful back in the game. First goal coming 10 minutes in then. from the corner. I just want to note that we've got Mustafi, Xhaka and Lacazette all on the near post. What happens to all of those guys is very interesting because they all get dragged towards the ball. There's actually 3 men on Diakabi when the ball comes back across the face of the goal, and he's unstoppable. In the air, it's incredible. He's so big. I don't know why they... I guess because he's not even a midfielder. He was playing in midfield. Very interesting, Diakabi. Not a great footballer, but did very well. He's one that tries really hard. And, you know, he did his bit, but he is gettable. Loose touch, very long, lanky legs. Not supposed to be playing in midfield. You can clearly see that. But without Kondogbia, without Coquelin, and with the injured Cheryshev, all 3 of which I think are going to be coming back for the away leg, Valencia obviously had to, you know, switch it up. I do question the choices. I really do rate the Vaz kid who came on late on and has been playing right back of late. He's a very good midfielder. Their passing was improved and they had their chances to actually get back in the game. But they looked like they were settling for 2-1. Looked like they were happy to take that one away goal back to Valencia. And I have to say, that would have been a really, really bad result for Arsenal. You know, we still have the lead, but a 1-0 victory is enough. You know, it's not what you want. That away goal is really distracting. And therefore, when Kolasinac swings in this curled, drifting ball over the top, looping little delivery, love that. Whipped cream strawberry, not even that much power, just a little lofted curl, whoop. And Aubameyang with a gorgeous finish. Absolutely first class, both of them. Got to say, Lacazette could have had 4 or 5 goals. He definitely should have had a hat-trick. One chance in particular where he was pretty much one-on-one from about 2 yards out. You've got to be scoring those, especially as that would have put the game to bed and we could have chilled. But 1 foot in the final. I'm really quite happy with the way that things are going in the Europa League. It has to be said, I think he's focusing on the Europa League. He's not really showing much respect to the Premier League, if I'm honest, Unai Emery. But, you know, if we get into the Champions League and we get a trophy, then I'll be more than happy because European success in itself is something to shout about. It's something for the history books. It's definitely one to tuck into the trophy cabinet and keep it moving, right? We don't want to just rest on our laurels and say, yes, we're Europa Cup winners. No, we want out of this fucking Europa League. I recognise the song. I actually recognise the song. I didn't even know they had a song until about 2 or 3 months ago. I know the song now. I don't want to be in this. I don't want to be here remembering Europa League songs. So please, Champions League songs are what we're all about. Champions League badges for next season. FIFA 20 with the nice fresh cards, so we're actually in the Champions League packs. That would be great. I do want to mention some things about Valencia. Guedes had a really poor performance. Koscielny did have him in his pocket a couple of times where he could have been on the break and through, and he just didn't make the right decision. He'll be really pissed off at himself. Not a great performance. Parejo is like their Xhaka, isn't he? Former QPR and Real Madrid man. They can play a lot better. So I'm not going to say that this game is completely over. It's definitely not. We've got to show them the respect that they deserve. They're a good side, good history, some very technical players. I'm sure they'll turn up a little bit more in the second leg. But we scored 3 goals against them. We should be able to get the 1. And that in itself should make this tie too difficult for them to have any chance, and that's exciting. We're in a European Cup final, baby. Thanks to Tom Watt for talking to us and doing that little interview. He is a guy who has been an Arsenal fan since before I was alive, so it's great to speak to him, and it's always great to listen to people who've been supporting the club and seen the ups and downs throughout the ages. I don't want to make him sound old or anything, but you know. Anyway, let me know how you're doing. Subscribe if you're new. Drop any comments about the game or football in general, or what you'd like some videos on. For now, though, I've been hughwizzy, and this has been a lot of fun. Peace.